When you're cooking a meal, do you expect it to be of restaurant standards? When you're playing sport, do you expect your performance to be that of a professional athlete? When you're delivering a pitch or presentation, do you expect it to be perfect? That's the topic I'm taking a look at today. And rather than aiming to be perfect, how can we aim to be good enough at public speaking? Welcome to episode 17 of Unlock Speaking Confidence. My name is Maureen from Soft Skills Success. So many clients that I have will come to me frustrated. They have set a bar really high for themselves when it comes to public speaking. And if they don't hit that bar, reach those targets, then they feel that they're not comfortable, that they're not confident, that they're not delivering it well. But quite often the bar that they're setting is based on what they have seen of professional speakers, and that's not realistic. So we're going to be taking a look at the idea of being good enough. And by that, I don't mean being unprepared, unpracticed, unprofessional. But what I do mean is setting a realistic target, a realistic goal for yourself based on the range of factors, the amount of time that you've available, the resources that you've available, the skill set that you currently have, and setting a realistic target for yourself based on that for when you are delivering your presentation. How can you go about doing that? Well, take a look back at episodes 10, 11 and 12 when I went through in detail how to prepare and practice for your presentation. But quite simply, starting off by doing your full audience analysis, knowing what your message is going to be, having a really good clear structure and framework around the talk that you're giving, being practiced at it and making sure that it comes across as well as you possibly can, and then really for growth and development to get feedback, helpful feedback that is going to help you to further develop those strengths that you have and to raise the bar on areas that might need a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of improvement. And gradually you will notice that you're raising that standard for yourself each time in a less stressed type of situation. I heard about this idea of being good enough recently. It was developed by a psychoanalyst, Donald Winnicott. He was working with parents who were giving themselves a hard time because they wanted to be perfect parents for their children. And his argument was that children don't need perfect parents. They need parents that are good enough. And in the vast majority of cases, audiences don't need perfect speeches. They need a talk, a speech, a presentation that is good enough. Recently, as part of my 6-week group program, Communicate with Confidence, we were taking a look at a number of TED Talks, and the participants were surprised when they analysed them to see that the talks weren't perfect. One speaker mumbled a little bit, somebody else was fidgeting a lot with his hands, a third speaker wasn't great at making eye contact with the audience. They weren't perfect. They were good enough. In fact, they were good enough to set them out as leaders in their fields. They were good enough to have several million YouTube views. And why did they get that audience? Because there was a passion, there was an authenticity about what they delivered. And that's what came through. That's what an audience will be seeing. Do you believe in what you're saying? Are you true to yourself when you're delivering it? That is what's going to come through far more than any perfection. So if you struggle with nerves before delivering presentations, if you feel that you should be aiming higher with the type of presentations that you do, start off by being good enough. Give it a go. I'm Maureen from Soft Skills Success. This has been episode 17 of Unlock Speaking Confidence.